afternoon and welcome back at the Singapore Summit. We're here with Christopher Forbes, head of APAC and MENA at CMC Markets. How are you?
I've had 3 great panels. This is our 4th one. Looking forward to our discussion.
How was the summit so far?
It's great. Really well organized, great companies, great vendors. Nice to see lots of industry friends. It's the first one here, I believe. I hope it's not your last.
First and not last, by
Good.
all means. So there's a lot going on with CMC Markets. My first question would be about gold and bullion, highly popular and relevant here. In Singapore, you applied for a physical license with the MAS. Was it a comment on demand from clients? Was it the ability to hedge? What's the rationale behind the move?
So it's not for hedging, but so culturally, Asia and Asians love gold. They love real estate, as in like physical real estate, as well as, and if you look at the Singapore market, they love REITs. And so if you think about physical assets in this market, it makes a lot of sense. I don't think it makes a lot of sense in, for example, the UK or America, but physical assets in Asia make sense.
So it's more expansion than hedging and the current client base.
Yeah, it's part client demand. It makes sense to go from synthetic and tokenized assets into physical assets. And the other, the beauty is everyone. Well, not everyone. A lot of people have gold, physical gold, and if you look at the gold souks, if you look at Change Alley, if you look on payday in Singapore, people go and buy physical gold.
Yes.
There are vending machines for gold now. And so it makes sense that one, if we offer gold on our platform, you can buy it. It makes sense to be able to, for us to deliver you gold physically in a cheap and affordable way. Or you can keep it on the platform and we will hold custody of those in a physical gold vault in Singapore, in a tax efficient manner. And then we will also lend you money against that gold. So we will collateralize your gold and then you can use that to trade with.
Okay, so
And
both
so it's
safe haven and better trading experience.
So yeah, so gold is traditionally a store of value, but it has intrinsic value. It has latent value. It doesn't yield anything. It's not like a stable coin where it
Right.
yields. So why not make use of that physical asset on the platform? Effectively, you're using it as collateral, and then you can trade Tesla. You can trade anything. And that's the beauty of the kind of product and innovation that CMC is doing now.
And you mentioned stablecoins, and this brings us on-chain. You attended a tokenization panel. What a smile. And my question is, what did you learn, or what were the main takeaways? Let's start with that. What major takeaways did you have in discussion with Calistone and others?
So I think the big takeaway is that CMC, of the 4 panelists, is by far the leading in terms of how we're using tokens and offering them to our clients.
Okay, great news. How do you do that? That was my second question. If you have a token without purchase ownership, or rather on-chain transfer of ownership.
So a CFD is almost like a token. Token is a fractional ownership of a real-world asset, which is effectively a CFD. CFD, like a token, is a settlement vehicle. How do I represent that you own real estate, Apple shares, gold? I give you a token, or I give you a CFD. The
Okay.
only difference here is that the CFD sits and you can have leverage, counterparty risk against CMC. With a token, it sits on a distributed ledger on chain, but currently there's no settlement vehicle, there's no way to put the leverage in there. How do you process the corporate action? How do you sell it? How do you take it cross-border?
With the CFD, you still need to talk to another person or another mediator in the...
Just me.
Okay.
And it's instant settlement, just like a token. There's no T+2 settlement. A CFD auto settles just like a token. And so actually a CFD really and a token really very similar. And so if you come onto CMC trading platform, you can fund in crypto, stable coins. You can trade crypto assets. You can tokenize now SpaceX with me. We can give you tokenized gold and you can trade on a weekend. So really CMC, and we bought a crypto exchange many years ago and have integrated those payment rails as well as blockchain rails into CMC technology. So really we're miles ahead of many of our competitors. The difference is that there's not mass market adoption, regulatory environment, custody, safekeeping of assets. Those things haven't caught up with us yet. And so actually we're ready. It's just that the market is not ready.
Is it too soon? Do you feel like, do you have pain points from doing it too early to be the first one?
So we've got 13 offices globally. We have 13 different regulatory bodies that we work with. The MAS in Singapore is our primary regulator.
Yes.
We have to follow their rules. I think they're a brilliant regulator. They've been brilliant in terms of early adoption of crypto. I think they've paused, and a lot of them are waiting to see what other regulators do. And as a result of that, all regulators, it's very hard to go beyond the existing framework. So again, lots of us are ready, lots of us are waiting. Tokenization is very simple. It's just that you can't use the real world application outside of a few simple things. Stablecoins is a brilliant example, and I think the second best example is this sort of event contract, event space, which is emerging now. That's tokenization.
Okay, let's move from tokens to tokens of trust. Your partnership strategy is, I don't know if unique, but certainly interesting in the sense that the brand ambassadors or athletes and top performers you collaborate with or partner with are not that huge on social media. They're not there to convey like this big win, make money thing. How do you go about partnerships, and what's the goal in striking such partnerships?
Sure. So, I mean, I'll talk globally and then locally. Globally, we have the Blues, we have St Kilda, so rugby. I can't say too much, but we have soon there'll be some announcements in the UK football scene, which we're very excited about. But then locally, we've sponsored Live Golf for the last 3 years. Locally, we sponsored SEC rugby team, again, across from their junior program all the way up to the men's division. We've done the same with Singapore FC, so from juniors up to men's. And then more recently, we've done the brand ambassadors. So we've done Enzo, who's the #1 paddle player, James Lowe, the #1 golfer, and Shanti, who's the #1 runner and SEA Games gold medalist. So we're doing this multi-pronged junior through to adult local talent, supporting Singaporeans, supporting local talent, and we hope that multifaceted approach, we hope, is the way to build a good brand in Singapore.
And is this a signal more to the masses in Singapore or to your biggest clients that established personal touch and activation could go to special booths and gatherings, clubs, what have you?
No.
Oriana sat in a premium club panel earlier, so that also spills
so
that.
Look, our premium or alpha club, we're very proud of that because I think we pioneered like the 67 Pall Mall membership, the hamper as you arrive, some of the rebates, access to Formula One Paddock Club. We have it all packaged for our alpha clients, and you get invited to different events. It's interesting, people are now copying what we pioneered. I expect people to copy our gold.
I see a common thread here, from tokenization to gold to sponsorships.
We are, I believe, pioneering these things, not in an arrogant way, but in a way that we're taking risk. And we're taking the risk, I think, in a very calculated way, locally. How do we serve the local Singapore Asian market? Well, gold is a good example. Real estate is a good example. Premium client experience is a good example. Sponsoring local Singapore talent. We're not going to America and sponsoring talent. We're investing in Singapore. I think that's a really important thing that we're doing, and I think pioneering.
Great. So, as the head of APAC and MENA, you oversee the two regions. And to wrap up, I would like to know, what is the most striking difference between people's cultures, ways of conducting themselves, business and otherwise, that you've noticed, and how did you come about noticing it?
I mean, the weather's a big difference.
I'm looking for a good story if it's not clear.
No, the weather's a big difference. Traveling to Dubai has been tricky of late, as you know, which we hope ends soon.
Singapore is becoming a bit the new Dubai in terms of capital, and we've heard about a lot of, but I'm veering off what I wanted to ask. So how do you see the two different regions? How did you came to learn firsthand about the differences?
So look, the only way to learn about the differences is to be onshore and immerse yourself in the culture. If you read about Dubai or saw things about Dubai via social media or the news outlets, nearly all of it is not true.
Okay.
I would say spending time on the ground, it's got an incredible culture, especially if you go to the souks, if you go to some of the gold exchanges, if you spend time in Dubai Old Town, if you go to the markets, that's where you feel the real culture. You're not going to see the culture by going to JBR Beach. Right?
Okay.
So, and you can see in the trading. What we see in Asia is lots of gold, equities and index trading. Right. In Dubai we see lots of gold, oil, commodities trading.
So do you have in store in the pipeline some localization in assets or in offering like you did in the physical?
We do. I won't talk prematurely, but you'll see the launch of a new platform in Dubai soon. You'll see the launch of a new entity and strategy soon. You'll see some local partnerships, just like we've done in Singapore soon. So
okay.
I won't give it away, but look, it's a very exciting time for CMC and the Middle East.
So stay tuned for more CMC Markets news. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Cheers, man.